So I've come down to talk to June Watterson, of course, in charge of the Communications Commission, amongst other things here in the Isle of Man. And Mr. Watterson, the announcement about 4G coming to the Isle of Man, you've asked for people to come forward. You're going to put 3 licences out. Isn't this as obvious? I mean, the usual players are going to get this, and isn't it a question of getting on with it now?
We've certainly said that there will be up to 3 licences issued, so it doesn't mean that there will be 3 licences issued. Yes, there's certainly an eagerness to get on with it. We're certainly keen to get this rolled out, primarily as a boost for individuals as well as for businesses, and to see how they're going to use the technology to help that part of growing the economy.
Why are we so far behind on this? Because I mean, we had this great thing of 3G, and everyone loves a first in the Isle of Man, don't they? And everyone was kind of crowing about the fact that, and they still even mentioned today that 3G came here first. But 4G, it seems we're late. I
don't think we are late. In terms of the global situation, I don't think we're late to the party at all. We can't crow about being first on this occasion, but I certainly don't think we're late. And a lot of that is about the availability of the spectrum that we've used. So we've been kind of dependent on the transfer from digital terrestrial television, the switch off of the old analog signal, to make that bit of the radio spectrum free that we can now use for data on mobiles.
Last time you gave it away. Are you doing the same this time?
Not quite, but not far off. In terms of the UK and the auction process that they went and raised billions of pounds with, we're just looking to cover our costs. So a 3G licence, provided that there's no more than 3 applicants, will cost £150,000. The idea of that is so that we are not then passing a cost on to the supplier who is going to pass it on to the consumer. This is about keeping the costs down so that people can get it at a reasonable rate and can therefore maximise their use of it.
You haven't asked the operators for too much coverage to start with. That sounds like just a Douglas transmitter to me. I mean, what are the figures? It's not a big percentage, was it?
Yeah, we're looking for, within the first few months, we're looking for 1/3 coverage and then moving up to 95% coverage within 2 years.
Why that? Why not ask for a full service straight away?
We recognise that people have still got to trial and test their technology. We've got to make sure that it's fair on the operators. But yes, you're right. It's likely to start in Douglas and be rolled out as this confidence in the technology grows. But there's also a lot of mobile masts out there that need to be out there in order to propagate the signal for 4G and get the technology in there to create the big download speeds that 4G is going to require.
Do you have any control over the price structure that might be brought out? Because in the UK, it seems that one operator has decided not to go with any increase, but others have put a surcharge on for the privilege of using 4G.
No, the Communications Commission doesn't have any power of veto over the rates that are charged for the services. The market in that sense is regulated by 2 things. The Office of Fair Trading in terms of the fair trading powers, and also then the market reviews about market dominance that we have and the market review process that we've done with the Communications Commission.
So likewise, roaming, you don't have any control over that and what prices may be incurred?
No, we do recognise that there is a wholesale market there for mobile termination on their own networks, and there can't be market abuse of that. That's within the market review process, but that's not to say that we can determine that it's going to be so much if you go to the UK or go to another country. We have taken steps to make sure that termination rates between the companies come down, and that's coming down in a glide path to make sure that undue costs are not being passed on to the consumers. So we'll see that go from 8p down to 1.25p over the next 3 years.
And this is because there's competition in the Isle of Man that's been able to do it? So.
It's actually not. Competition hasn't done this, so the Communications Commission has stepped in, undertaken these market reviews.
You've had to force a situation then?
Yeah, we're obviously working in conjunction with the providers, but this is what's made this happen. But this market review process has meant that we are able to direct the reductions in the mobile termination rates because of the monopoly power that they have about terminating calls on their own networks.
And this is a good thing for the Isle of Man to get this technology in and up and running?
This is one of the things that we're keen on, and the reason that we've kept the price relatively low in order to sort of cover the costs rather than make a big profit for Treasury, is because we want people to use this technology. We want it to be part of the economy and spur for economic growth rather than just a money-making exercise for government.
Because it seems, I mean, in just next year, I think the mobile market is going to overtake the people who watch video, on their smartphones compared with at home on their computers and watching this sort of item, no doubt.
Absolutely, and with the guaranteed speeds that we're talking about for 4G, about 5 megabytes per second in a lightly loaded cell, in other words, in an area which isn't crowded out with people, that's the sort of speed that, yes, you can download live streaming, you know, your IoM TV straight onto the handset.